fact, in the rainbow bracelet that I have on, that has a citrine in it. The citrine is that wonderful golden butterscotch caramel color. That's the way I like to describe it. It's a golden yellow, and it's a very pretty ring. Oh, I think you'll like this one. $31.54, sizes 6 through 10. J13180 is your item number. Something a little different from what we've seen just lately. Now, let me measure this for you. This is good sized. 5/8 of an inch from end to end. Oh, I'd say from one side to the other, about a ½ inch, approximately. But anyway, you have, let's see, two leaves down here in the silver, 2 leaves on the other end in the silver. The back is kind of running through it, and the diamond cut with those little slashes in them. And then the citrine in the center is a round, faceted citrine weighing 24 points. So it's just about 1/4 of a carat. You can see that round citrine. The citrine is the birthstone for October. So if you have a birthday in October, this may be something you want to consider. Maybe you have a child born in October, as I do, and so you want something, a ring that kind of just, you know, is a remembrance of them, even though they're up kicking around. Maybe if they're little, they're screaming, running, getting into trouble. Maybe they're grown and they're raising their own family and making you very, very proud. Whatever the case may be, it's fun to have some different colored jewelry with different colored gemstones, and this happens to be the citrine. The citrine, it has been a very popular stone lately at TBC because we haven't seen it that often. And so when we do see it, it is exciting. And a lot of times with fall and winter coming, you're going to see this color in our fashions and in our wardrobes, and you'll find a lot of different things to wear with this ring. Also, it's interesting to see the color contrast between the sterling silver and the citrine. The warmth of the citrine, the coolness of the silver mixed together is almost like a two-tone jewelry. You know, when we have our 14-karat gold jewelry, a lot of times we get so many requests for the two-tone, the gold and the silver mixed together, and sometimes you like to wear your gold bracelets with your silver bracelets, etc. This ring really epitomizes the two-tone look with the golden citrine and the sterling silver, the brightness of the silver. Sizes 6 through 10 are available. And it's nice to have even the size 9 and 10 there, because you don't always see the size 10s, but we have requested them for you. So when they're making the jewelry for QVC out in the Black Hills of South Dakota, they are making the various sizes that we asked for, because it's important for you to be able to have the correct size, especially when you have silver. When you see silver in a band, you want to even more specifically buy the right size, because silver is not as easy to change sizes, you have it sized up or down, as gold is. Gold is much more simple to size to your correct size. Silver is not that easy. As far as the diamond cutting, you'll find the diamond cuts in the leaves, the diamond cuts are in the vines. The band itself is nice and smooth, so it's comfortable to wear on your hand. Isn't that pretty? When you buy a piece of jewelry that's from the Black Hills, it's a piece of American history. You really do. You know, the gold rush took place in South Dakota as well as in California. A lot of times you hear about the gold rush in California. Well, that was a big time, but the gold rush was also in South Dakota, where a lot of gold was found in the Black Hills. And so when you go through, well, I think you plan a family vacation sometimes in the Black Hills, because it's a spectacular sight. When you think of the Midwest, you think of the plain states. That's what they call the plain states. Not that they're that plain, but they're a lot of times flat. And you find Nebraska being kind of a flat state. Iowa's a little more of a flat state. Minnesota's fairly flat. It has some large hills up towards the northern part of Minnesota. And even South Dakota's pretty flat on the eastern side. But as you get into the central part of South Dakota, you get into the Badlands, which is a lot of sand dunes, which you would never expect to see up in the Midwest. And then all of a sudden, there's these huge, huge hills that look like mountains, that look black, but they're actually covered in pine trees with dark bark. And it comes out looking kind of black on the hills, and boy, I tell you, it is a beautiful sight. Big mountainous rock formations out there too, so if you ever get a chance to see it, please do.
and smelting of the gold is done by the Black Hills artisans in the same way that goldsmiths have been doing this for thousands of years. It's a delicate balance of time and temperature. Too little and too many impurities remain. Too much and the gold is burned, chemically altered, and rendered unusable. The process of creating all the decorative elements of the Black Hills gold, the leaves and such, involves a procedure that is not unlike that of your home pasta-making machine. The gold begins as a brick. Through a series of rollings in which the thickness is decreased, it ends like this. What starts as a 1/2 inch thick block ends as a 16/1000th of an inch thick sheet.
The last thing that anyone does when leaving a Black Hills Gold manufacturing facility is to have his shoes scrubbed. This scrubber that I'm presently standing on is spreading minute particles of gold to the soles of my shoes. That gold is collected on a regular basis, remelted, and recycled into the jewelry making process. These shoes are clean too.
It was 24,000.
And then there's a big Susan Bell. Steve Bryant, Paul Kelly, myself all went out there with a cast and crew of many to do a show from the Black Hills. But anyway, it was funny because we all had to step on that before we left. And a lot of times, too, they kind of weigh you as you go in and weigh you as you go out. And if you gained any weight, they figure you've got some gold on you there. So they have a lot of security measures, too. Well, this particular ring that we're going to take a look at is a beautiful piece. And in fact, this is one of the largest rings that you're going to find in the collection of our new jewelry today. This is a very good-sized ring that I probably would recommend, once again, for the ring finger or the middle finger or even your pointer finger, index finger, too. Let's do some measuring. This one is over an inch in length. It's about 1 inch and 1/8 in length on this ring. And it is a wonderful swirled design with a lot of openness in it so that you can see your skin through it. This one starts out with the rose in the center, and it's done in sterling silver. The rose in the center is in sterling silver. The leaves that you see, 2 rose leaves and 1 green on that side, 2 green and 1 rose on that side, it's just reversed. 6 leaves altogether, and then the 12-karat gold. Remember that price expires at midnight Eastern time tonight. If you should see this another day later on this week, it's going to be at a higher price. It's J13145, sizes 6 through 10. And just a spectacular ring. I love this. Wonderful look. There's Candy modeling it for you on her middle finger, so you have an idea of how it may look on that finger. You will get the oohs and ahs over this one, no doubt. People are going to notice this from a distance, from across the room. You may even be in a restaurant eating, and if you're right over and in gold.
Maybe like
12-karat rose gold, 12-karat green gold, mixed in with the sterling silver, and yet all for a price